He was the slowest player on the pitch, and yet he still outpaced everyone, not with his legs, but with his brain. Sergio Busquets has just announced his retirement, so let's have a look at his career. But to make it more interesting, every time I get a bit carried away by the brilliance of the greatest defensive midfielder of all time. I'll be sipping Johnny Walker in the war room by myself.
That night, sipping the fucking Johnny Walker in the war room by myself with him, chilling. Why? I studied, bro.
Wish me luck. His father also played for Barcelona, and when you look at him, it's clear that there is no DNA test needed. While Busquets was a skinny defensive midfielder who couldn't run, his father was a goalkeeper who couldn't catch a ball. And I'm not even exaggerating. He was nicknamed the goalkeeper without hands. But even though he was a goalkeeper, he wasn't really there to save shots. He was pretty much an 11th outfield player. Johan Cruyff valued his contribution on the ball, as well as his qualities as a sweeper keeper. He accepted the goals he conceded because he believed that by playing with the 11th outfield player, he would gain more control of the game and ultimately concede fewer goals. But after Cruyff left, no one was insane enough to keep him as his number one, and he slowly faded away. But Cruyff's insanity went a bit further than that. He picked a skinny, short, slow kid who couldn't defend as his defensive midfielder. His name was Pep Guardiola. He went on to completely transform the role of defensive midfielder at Barcelona. A decade later, Guardiola returned to Barcelona as the manager of the B team, and there was one player who reminded him of himself. He wasn't fast, he wasn't the most agile or dynamic player, but he didn't have to be. His reading of the game and anticipation were so good, he was always in the right position. He was always there first. As Johan Cruyff once said, speed is often confused with insight. When I start running earlier than others, I appear faster. Busquets always started running sooner than his opponent. But as a player, Busquets was a few levels above Guardiola. He was literally the perfect defensive midfielder for Barcelona. He was tall, and thanks to his long legs, he was able to cover even more ground. But most importantly, on the ball, he was unpressable. But I would rather talk about that later, because I don't wanna die. After Guardiola became the manager of the first team, he brought Busquets with him, and he quickly impressed everyone. He became a key player in one of the best club teams in modern history, as well as in one of the best national teams in modern history. In a team with stars like Messi, Xavi and Iniesta, he was the one who could not only combine with them, but also provide the balance defensively. He was the glue of the midfield that held everything together. But when his midfield partners got older and slowly faded away, that's when he truly showed how great he really was. Xavi left in 2015, Iniesta in 2018. They were replaced by Ivan Rakitic, who was technically very underrated, but he wasn't on the level of Xavi or Iniesta. However, he could cover more ground, which gave Busquets more playmaking responsibilities. The dynamics of the midfield under Luis Enrique had changed, but it still worked, mainly thanks to Busquets. After Iniesta left, Busquets became even more important. Barcelona under Valverde, Setien or Koeman was often described as give the ball to Messi and pray, but it was a bit more complicated than that. It was more like give the ball to Busquets, he's gonna get it to Messi. But nothing sums up his brilliance more than this. Guardiola has won everything at Manchester City, and one of the most important players behind his success is his defensive midfielder Rodri. Man City, with him on the pitch, had lost just one match in over a year. He became the first defensive midfielder since 1996 to win the Ballon d'Or. However, at the World Cup 2022, he was playing for Spain as a centre-back. Why? Because in his position was a 34-year-old Sergio Busquets, who was still absolutely irreplaceable. When we talk about the best dribblers of all time, we often mention names like Messi, Maradona, Ronaldinho, Neymar, or Eden Hazard. These guys could just take the ball, run past the whole team, and score. But while these guys were dribbling while running, Busquets was dribbling while standing, and yet he always escaped. No matter whether you were coming from the left, from the right, from the front, or from behind, whether you were alone or with another 1, 2, or 3 teammates, he always found a way to get out. And once he got out, he was even more dangerous. He would find a player between the lines with a pass nobody else in the world could see. Sometimes he wasn't even looking, and yet he saw everything. During his farewell, Messi didn't look very happy. Maybe he's realizing his time is coming to an end. Maybe he's sad he's losing a friend. Or maybe he's sad because he is losing the most important player of his career. While Xavi or Iniesta had shared the glory days with him, it was Busquets who went with him through the dark times. And in those dark times, he was the one who helped him the most. He never scored goals, never got many assists, and yet, since 2020, he has assisted Messi 14 times. If you like this video, please give it a like.